Okay, hi everyone.
Hi guys, hello, good evening. So yeah, Sean, you were just doing the Irish the St. Patrick's event, right?
Yes, I was. Were you watching? No, you were teaching.
I was teaching. I did see a little bit, but actually when I tuned in, I don't think I saw you. I think it's
No,
more
I
towards the
wasn't. I
beginning.
wasn't there at the beginning. I came later. I had another class.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, no, I was just teaching, so I didn't get the end of it, but I just saw the video they shared on the group. Was that
Oh,
the national anthem?
yes, the national anthem of Ireland. Yeah, we
Ah.
tried to get patriotic because St. Patrick's Day was tough in quarantine for us. But yeah, that was nice. It was nice.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah, I know next week they mentioned they're doing something about like cooking. Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah, yeah, it's good to have these events, even though we're all very far away, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. In some ways, I've really been appreciating these webinars, especially now that we've gotten used to the format.
Yes.
It's been nice, like meeting people from other schools and kind of getting different
Yeah.
perspectives. Yeah.
Yeah, and certainly now that there's so many people watching them, we always get a lot of interaction, and yeah, it's good, I think.
Yeah, awesome. And I don't think there's anyone watching us right now,
No.
but in case you guys do join us, so just a hello and tell us your name and your city if you can, guys. Yep, perfect.
Hmm.
Yeah, so today we're talking about something I think that makes our entire generation very sad because it's not happening to any of
Mm,
us
not
buying a
for me.
house. Yeah,
Mm.
so good.
Yes, but I think the quarantine is the time for fantasy, for imagining our best possible life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because
Can
certainly,
imagine I'll have a house one day.
yes, and spending all this time in my house, I'm seeing the problems, the limitations, certainly. I think.
Yeah. No, but one nice thing also about not owning a house is I know when you do, how many things you have to fix and how
Yeah.
expensive it is. I mean, any
Mm.
little thing you want to do, you just want to change like the floors in one room. It's like, oh yeah, that's gonna be like 2,000 euros. I'm like, oh gosh,
God,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
So at least like now I can just call the owner, they get it fixed.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's some benefits in
yeah.
the short
Though,
term at least.
though the landowners sometimes, in my experience, not always the most responsible or responsive, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so
Hi, Robbie. Hello, hello. Nice to see you here, Robbie. I remember you from the 8 to 10 focus. It's nice that you're also joining us here. Welcome.
yeah, welcome. Yeah, so buying a house. In this focus, talking about idyllic homes, look at an estate agent's techniques and choosing a property from the description. So
Exactly.
yeah. Hmm. The word idyllic, do you think they'd know that?
Yeah, perhaps not. I usually just think of the word like ideal to help you
Yeah.
remember. It's quite similar.
Yeah.
Like the perfect, your utopian house, basically.
Mm, mm.
Idyllic. Yeah, like the kind of like ideal slash perfect, I suppose.
Yeah, very like paradise,
Yeah,
calm.
paradise.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. We also have Daniela from Naples.
Oh,
There's
hello,
always a lot of
Daniela.
people from Naples. They're very
Yeah,
committed to
I've
learning
noticed. Yeah,
English.
a lot of Neapolitans joining us in the webinars. So really cool, guys.
Yeah. Mm. Okay. So we'll go on to the first slide, which is some questions. And also a little point just to note at the bottom. In the UK, I speak British English, estate agency or estate agent. And in the US, you would say something else.
Yeah, a real estate agent or a realtor. I also know that there is a small difference between them, just in the way they
Okay.
operate, and but it's a very technical difference. I can't even tell you right now. I remember from watching Modern Family, they mentioned
Yeah.
it in one episode. but I can't
Yeah, was he
remember.
a real estate agent or a
Yeah, Phil.
realtor,
Yeah,
the dad?
Phil is I think he was a
Yeah.
realtor, and he would always kind of,
Okay.
snob on the real estate agents. And so I'm not
Okay,
quite sure what
interesting.
the difference is, though. Hi, Lavinia. Yes, Lavinia is from our school in Meravigli. Welcome.
Oh yeah, Lavinia. Hi. Good to see you. Yeah, so the questions. If you were house hunting, what type of house would you look for? Would you prefer to live in the country or in a city? Would you sacrifice size for location? How many bedrooms would your ideal flat or house have? Where do you go to buy a house?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
another
guys,
difference
oh yeah,
between
go, no, go ahead.
British and American is a flat. You would say
I
apartment.
would say an apartment for sure. Yeah, flat or apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do
Yeah.
let us know, guys,
So
what you
let's
think. I mean, it doesn't have to be numbered question one, question two, especially with this level. You guys all have like a nice command of the language. So just let us know your thoughts. Let's just have like a nice conversation.
definitely.
Okay. Sean, how do you like your current living situation? Do you like your apartment at the moment?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I wouldn't say it's idyllic or amazing, but it's a good solution for me. I live in a studio apartment. It's just a one room and then a bathroom. So it's kind of all together. If you can actually see, I sleep on a kind of mezzanine above me. You can see that the top there. And yeah, it's good for me because it's independent. I have a lot of privacy, things like that. And it's not too expensive for Milan, certainly.
That's
Are you
really
happy with?
nice. You got really lucky. Yeah, because even finding studio apartments is not so easy. Finding one that isn't super expensive, I mean, you really lucked out there. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm quite
Yeah.
happy with my current house. There are three of us living here, but there is a lot of
Mhm.
space. It's kind of divided into two different floors. There's one big open space here on top. We do have two bathrooms. And so I feel like there's enough space. There are two things I don't love about it. One is the fact that being on the ground floor, I don't have any kind of outside space, so no balcony, no terrace of any kind. But I am thankful to the Italian windows that I feel tend to be larger than the ones we have back home. So it still lets in a lot
Mm.
of light through. And the other thing that you guys can kind of see is the crazy amount of orange because I have an orange couch, I got an orange table, I got like orange
Okay.
cabinets, which can be nice sometimes during the day when you have the outside. Adding some extra color is okay, but at night it's like an explosion of energy that I, I'd rather something a little cozier maybe. So I tend to keep the
Okay.
lights off. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing when you rent, you're not in control of the color scheme. But everything here is quite white, which is good for me. It's good for light anyway, because it's not very bright here actually. It's just at the beginning of the day you have some light coming in, but otherwise no. So the
Hmm.
white is good to make it feel a bit brighter. Mm.
Cool. Yeah, another thing that I find quite nice about this house is that because this main room is on the ground floor, the bedrooms are actually downstairs, so they're technically underground,
Oh,
which makes it really nice in the summer.
oh,
Because
it's
I guess you
cool.
still
Yeah.
haven't experienced summer in Milan, but maybe you have in Emilia
No.
Romagna.
No, I did actually visit Milan a few years ago in August,
Oof.
and
So you
it
saw.
was it was really bad, but I also spent a summer in Florence, and Milan was not as bad as Florence.
Oh,
So,
really?
yes. And strangely, for an Irish person, I quite like very warm weather. I like very hot weather. I don't know why.
Even
Um,
if it's like muggy and humid.
I prefer it to very cold weather. For me, it's better. Do you prefer cold
Ah.
weather?
No, I definitely prefer warm weather, but I like the dry. Like,
Mm.
that is a big difference between summers in Brazil versus summers in California, for example. Brazil,
Okay.
it's quite humid as well. Not as humid as here, honestly. Um, California is really, really dry, and so although we get to Oh, I actually don't. I'm so used to talking about weather in the States in Fahrenheit. I don't even know what that is in Celsius. But
Oh,
we get to over 100 Fahrenheit, 110
oh,
sometimes even.
okay.
I would say it's like 45, which is a lot,
That's too high. Yeah,
but
God.
you don't feel it as much. As long as you're in the shade,
No, definitely.
it's
Yeah.
fine. It's just kind of it's the heat that burns when you're in direct sunlight. Otherwise, it's okay.
Yeah, no, strangely, even though Ireland is certainly not ever warm at all, it's also humid. The air is very wet. So I'm very used to that feeling. In fact, the few times I've been in drier climates, I find it very unusual. I'm not used to it. So Milan is fine for me.
Yeah,
It's
you're
what I'm
used to
used.
that. Cool.
Yeah.
Robbie has a comment for us. She's saying that 2 years ago, I was looking for a new apartment in the center that I found. My house is smaller than the one I had before, but I needed to get closer to the office. That's definitely correct. The office I work, maybe to the office I work at or the company I work for. Uh,
Yeah.
Great. Robbie, will you remind us again where you're from? Are you from
Um,
Milan? Yeah, let us know your city. Um, yeah, yeah.
mm,
See, I actually did the opposite. I used to live closer to the city,
okay.
and but then the landowner had to sell it. Oh, you're from Naples, that'll be great.
Okay.
They had to sell the house, and so we ended up kind of sacrificing the location for size and also a more modern sort of
Mm.
ambiance.
Yes, yes. I think in Milan, so everything is so well connected with transport that it's not that bad to be outside of the city as in other cities.
No, not really. In fact, getting to work from my other house, although I was much closer, if you were to like, draw a straight line, I was much closer. It would take me about the same amount of time because from where I live now, I take the metro, which is quite quick.
Yeah.
And from there, I would rely more on the trams, which would often get stuck because of traffic. So it was about the
Mhm.
same, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
would
good.
you do you prefer more like size? So would you sacrifice size for location, Sean? Which one is more important to you?
Yeah, no, I actually do. I do care about the location because when I lived in Dublin and went to university there, I lived very far from the center. It was a big place, but it was really very far from the center. And as a consequence, that affects everything, your ability to socialize late, your the time it takes to go to work. For me, it's worth it, a smaller space, because it affects your whole life if you're very far away. I mean, in Milan, it's okay, but in Dublin, it was very negative. Which is more important for you?
I think the city plays a big part in this. See, in Milan, I don't mind it too much because, as you said, it doesn't affect me really day to day. It's more of, if there's like a transportation strike. See, before I used to be able to, if I had to, I could walk to work. I could, ride a bike. But from where I am now, that would be really painful, having to walk. It would take me a really long time. So I guess an important thing for me is a nice inside space because I
Mm,
do like spending time inside at home, and I feel that a lot of Italian homes, they, especially the ones that you're renting, they tend to be a little bit older in terms of style,
yeah,
which can be nice if you have good furniture to go with it.
yes, yeah,
But if you don't, it's just these big empty spaces with like marble floors and really tall ceilings.
yeah.
Which kind of feels a little sad after a while. So I like the more modern. Even the orange is okay in this case.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Daniela also has something. I would buy an apartment with a beautiful sea view and a garden. I prefer to live in a big city, so I could sacrifice size for location, but my idyllic, and then you corrected yourself after, great. My idyllic house has to have, I would just put that in third person, has to have two bathrooms.
Two
Two
bathrooms.
bathrooms.
If you live with more than one person, definitely, I think it's a great thing, two bathrooms.
Yeah. Or if you can have two bathrooms, maybe if you live with your partner, I do really like the idea of two sinks. So you can each have your own kind of your products, and you can kind of both use it at the
Yeah.
same time.
It's very common in American houses, isn't it? Two
Yeah,
sinks.
I've seen a lot of Italian houses with it as well. Actually, a funny thing that I've noticed in many Italian homes is that, for being a country that puts so much emphasis on food, I've seen lots of houses in which the kitchen was smaller than bathrooms. Um, Bathrooms here tend to be pretty big, I noticed.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
sometimes the kitchen is like this tiny little space, even though so much magic
yeah,
happens there.
yeah. Americans have very big kitchens now, big
Oh
fridges,
gosh,
big, big.
American houses are just way too big for me.
Yeah. Mm.
Cleaning is a nightmare.
Yeah, even in Ireland, it was harder to clean than here now.
Mm. Do you guys also have carpets?
Yeah, very much so, which are, yeah, they never seem as clean as you can get
No, yeah.
them.
And then I start thinking about it. It's like how dirty it probably is that I can't even see underneath. It's like, ugh. And Robbie is I don't like huge houses because I would spend a lot of time cleaning. There you go. And I'd like to have a garden or a patio. Good word, patio. Nice, nice. Hi, Sole. Welcome.
Hmm,
All right, guys. Excellent.
okay. So keep answering those questions anyway, and we'll move along. Okay? So real estate euphemisms. Often estate agents use euphemisms to make properties sound more enticing. Match up what the estate agent says to what you think it really means. How
Yeah.
would you define a euphemism?
Kind of exaggeration,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like this, yeah, yeah, describing something slightly different than reality, an euphemism.
yeah, yeah. So they have to make it seem more attractive to sell the property. Yeah.
Exactly. And then here on this, we have a list on the side with the positive words and expressions they would use, and then on the other side we have the reality or a more negative definition. So let us know what you guys think. So, for example, if if you're reading an ad and you see that it's a lively area, what could they be trying to hide with lively area? What's
Mm,
the situation actually like? So let
yeah.
us know what you think. We have lively area, idyllic, which we talked about before, great potential. That's a great one. A studio flat, which we mentioned in the beginning, and a period property.
Hmm. Yes. So do you live in a lively area?
Uh, yes and no. I live in an area that does have a lot of little shops, which I really like little ethnic shops, and so there's
Hmm.
a lot of people moving around, buying things, etc. It's very international. Lots of immigrants in the area, so it is quite lively in a certain sense, but not so much at night because then you don't have like bars or things like that. So it's
Okay.
kind of dead at the nighttime. But the shop's
Hmm.
actually open until like 3 in the morning, so it's super convenient if I just
Hmm.
need to buy something.
Yes, and I think Daniela has it. Lively is noisy. Yes. So do you like your area?
I quite do, yeah. I've heard loads of terrible things about it before I moved here because it's
Hmm.
at the very end of, I don't know if you know Via Padova in Milan.
That's not very far from where I am.
Where are
I'm
you?
on Viale Monza.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, and these two streets, Via Monza and Via Padova, they get this terrible rep.
Yeah, bad reputation.
Uh,
But it's, I mean, certainly compared to the bad areas of Dublin,
Yeah,
nothing.
I think it's. I mean, I've never seen anything. I mean, what? Sometimes you might have people just kind of hanging out, smoking a cigarette, drinking a beer at night, but they never talk to you.
Yeah.
I've always felt very safe here. I quite
Hmm.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think certainly my end of things, there's a lot of character, yeah, more diverse than a lot of Milan, and I
Mm,
think that's a positive thing. I quite like that.
I
So,
do too. Yeah.
yeah. And then idyllic. Hmm. So, yeah, Robbie got the first one correct as well. Lively and noisy.
So I guess what idyllic is that? Are they suggesting like it's isolated? I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's peaceful, I suppose.
Yeah, because when I think of idyllic, yeah, I think of I don't know, like green hills and the beach. Yeah, I guess something.
Yeah.
Definitely, I don't think of civilization. I don't think of people really.
Hmm. Did
Uh,
you ever live in the countryside and somewhere idyllic?
Not really.
Hmm.
No, not really. I've always pretty much lived in cities my whole life.
Okay.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
said you grew up in the country, right?
I did in a very, very isolated part of Ireland, really. The nearest village was about 5 to 10 minutes away, and that was just 100 people. So,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
really extremely low density of population. It was nice as a child, but when I was a teenager, it wasn't so great.
So now, do you prefer living in a city? I imagine.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
The thing that I miss is certainly the quality of the air, because in Milan that's a big problem. But for me, it's to live in a city is better. To live in a lively place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool.
So great potential. Run down.
Yes.
Yes. Depends on your perspective. It depends on your perspective. Studio flat, a cupboard, and a period property more than 10 years old. Yeah,
Excellent.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm reminded of when I was visiting this property, which is very small by most people's standards as a studio. And the way the realtor put it, which was, I think, quite charming, was he said, "It's not a house for forever. It's a good house for now."
That's great. I remember, yeah, mine because I also lived
Yeah,
in a studio apartment. The first year I was in Milan, and it was actually a quite nice studio because it was. See, the setup was really nice. I also had like a bed like yours on top with kind of like the couch underneath. So they used the space well. But yeah, and I found a listing on Airbnb, and they also described as like a romantic flat. As a romantic flat
yeah.
close to the city center of Milan. So,
Yeah, I mean, the classic one for anything small is cozy. They
cozy,
say cozy.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
A nest.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay, great. So yeah, here we have cozy again with some more other words. Unique, secluded, basic, and good transport connections. And then we have what they might really mean. Unfurnished, cramped, bizarre decoration. Get used to the traffic noise or in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually my previous apartment was really bizarre in terms of decoration. It was really cool actually though. So basically were these parents who got it for their son who was an artist, and he was actually living in, I think he lives in Paris right now. I forget what he does, if he does interior design or not. So the house, it was a bit odd, a very like non-Italian. You know, you had like this just a blue carpet like all over, and then in the kitchen you
Oh,
had these tiles from Mexico. But it was really cool. Like when you entered, to like hang your coats, it was basically they had these two like hands that were just like had the one finger kind of like that. So you would just like hang the coats like on the finger. And there was
okay.
like as soon as you walked in, there was also this like eye like looking down the hall. So it was definitely very strange, and the colors were just really dark, between the blue and the green walls. But people really liked it, and they came to visit. They thought there was a lot of character to it. So
Yeah, I think certainly there's a big culture of interior design in Italy and especially in Milan. People kind of they do their own thing a little bit, you know. I mean, you've got your standard marble floors and things, but when I first came before I found this place, I was staying in a room in a house that was an apartment that was owned by an older man. He'd lived there since the 60s. And it looked like the 60s, you know, nothing had changed and it was all really particular. It was like nothing I'd seen before.
yeah, sometimes I like even just looking on Airbnb for places in Milan. If
Yeah,
did like super hosts, or you find some really cool like places. It makes you want to like just go and stay there for one night. Like really
yeah,
nice locations as well. So,
great.
all right, yeah,
So,
let us know what you think, guys. Maybe the first one we kind of talked about it,
yeah,
cozy.
cramped and small.
Yeah,
Yeah. Then unique, we were kind of saying, yeah, your first place was probably unique.
yeah, quite unique. That's right, and nice job also, Daniela. Yeah, with cozy.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, so here it'll be because cozy is more of like a place of warmth. When I think cozy, I think of like a fireplace and hot chocolate, for example. It's that B definition of cozy for me. So you think of something very small. A few years ago, the whole concept of like hygge got quite popular, huh?
Oh, is those the houses that move that are small or something? Or is that something
Though
else?
that's like the tiny house. No, hygge is like it's a concept in Danish, I want to
Oh,
say, and it's an idea of coziness that is really essential to their culture. Because it's so cold and
oh,
miserable outside that they focus so much on creating cozy spaces inside.
hmm.
So yeah, and hygge. And then, I don't know. Then it got kind of popular, and there's
Yeah,
a place in Milan, a restaurant. I think it's called hygge, and that's
okay.
the
Yeah,
whole like idea of
definitely.
it.
For design, they're very much kind of leading the charge up there in Scandinavia. But
Yeah,
now people are really obsessed with Marie Kondo, I know, who's so minimal.
yeah. Like the
Marie
minimalism
Kondo?
is really taken off. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 In
Okay. So yeah,
Copenhagen.
unique is bizarre decoration. Great. Oh yeah, in Copenhagen, great. And yeah, secluded in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So I mean, I think this is actually not challenging for second language speakers. The difference of positive and negative kind of adjectives in describing words, because the meaning is the same, but some words will always have a negative implication and some will have a positive one.
Yeah, definitely. In the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere, or I don't know. Do you guys abbreviate it as Mon, MON?
No,
The
I've never heard that
Yeah,
before.
the Mon. I remember there was one summer we stayed. We got this like beach house that was supposed to be a beach house, but it was actually not that close to the beach. So we refer to it as the Mon house, like the middle of nowhere house. But yeah, sometimes you
Okay.
abbreviate it as
No,
Mon.
we have an idiom. I don't know if it's Irish or British English, but we say in the sticks. In the
In the
sticks
sticks,
in
yeah.
nowhere. Yeah, in the sticks. Yes, basic, unfurnished. Very good. And then, yeah, the last one, good transport connections. Get
Yeah,
used to traffic
get used to
noise.
traffic noise. That was definitely my last
Mm.
apartment. Lots of trams.
Okay.
Hello, Alice.
Okay.
Welcome. Yeah, get used to traffic noise. That's really nice.
Mm.
All right, great. If anything isn't
Mm.
clear, guys,
Is
just let us know in the comments.
is noise something important for you? Because it doesn't bother some people. noise?
I guess it doesn't bother me that much. It's fine. No, see, I've always, not always, but often I've had issues with neighbors actually complaining that and the people I live with make noise, but I think we're so quiet. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, because I'm not the kind of person to listen to music loud. I'm really mindful after 11. I mean, if anything, okay, maybe I watch TV, but again, it's not like at an absurd volume. But I've had
Yeah.
twice now, I've had people, complain about the fact that we're making too much noise. Uh,
Yeah,
so
I mean, I know that the building's old and the walls are thin, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, in fact, in this house, I'm super happy because in my old house, we had the neighbor from downstairs who kept, complaining that we were moving furniture around. But that's the house where we had all the carpet. So it's like, we are not moving furniture. I mean, it is impossible. Everything is so heavy, and then we have a carpet.
Yeah,
But she kept complaining and complaining, and we didn't know what to tell her. Uh, this house is ground floor, so at least I never have to worry about walking, dancing around, whatever it is that I want to do. It's fine.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, so so
Yes, so estate agents have to make their houses stand out from others using descriptions alone. They must first entice a future purchaser to the house, and they commonly do this with linguistic devices such as hyperbole and euphemisms, describing the good points of the house to best advantage and trying to make the bad points sound like benefits. Since different kinds of houses appeal to different people, it is not always easy to know which aspects are best to highlight. So the estate agent tends to go for overkill, proclaiming every possible feature as if it were a virtue.
hmm, yeah, so explaining what was happening before. Any vocabulary here which you think they mightn't know?
Yeah, maybe hyperbole could be a good one.
Mhm. Yeah,
Hyperbole, like an exaggeration, I would say.
yeah,
Um, Americans are huge on hyperboles. That is, a big difference after moving to Europe. I've noticed. Sometimes I even try to tone down. So, 'cause we're all about like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever.
yeah.
Everything you eat is amazing, and I'm obsessed. Uh,
Yeah, no, there's a lot of positivity in American culture, which definitely not here.
yeah. Oh, no, but also negative. It's like, oh, this is the worst. Like, oh, I
Okay.
hate this. Whereas I feel, yeah, here it's a bit more balanced. It's just like a bit more honest, maybe.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. In fact, I've heard people tell me that they can't even trust my opinion because everything is amazing. Uh,
Okay.
Especially like when they make food, and I'm just like, oh wow, oh, this is so good.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
entice, Robbie, a good one. We had it before. We talked about the adjective. I had it somewhere. Enticing. Okay, so here we go. So enticing means something that is attractive. So to entice is to.
Attract.
Yeah, I think of mermaids with this one. To
Yeah,
the mermaids, they enticed the sailors into the water. So to attract.
yeah. It's a good way to remember. So, property auction. Now you must choose a property to buy from the description alone. No pictures. Okay, so we're going to read some
Yeah. There's
descriptions.
gonna be four property. I think it's four.
Yeah.
Guys, choose one. So if
Hmm.
don't worry so much about the budget, blah blah blah. Try to choose one property based only on the description. And overkill. Do you want to explain that one, Sean? Overkill.
Oh yeah, overkill. I'll go back. So overkill, we had the the tends to go for overkill, proclaiming every feature as if. So overkill is, yeah, it's exaggeration, hyperbole, too much. selling too much positive. Yeah, this kind of thing. Mm. Okay, so back to property number one. Thiago, can you read this one?
Yes, I think I'm perfect. So, property number one, placed in the prestigious suburbs, this classic three-bedroom house, arranged over 2 floors, offers well-proportioned basic living space in a lively area. The property comprises a spacious living room opening onto paved area of large private garden, contemporary kitchen, dining room, study, master bedroom suite, 2 guest bedrooms, and 2 bathrooms. Churchmount benefits from its close proximity to Monterey and Reeve Heights golf clubs. So yeah, this
Hmm.
is overkill right here. See all these
Yeah,
crazy adjectives like nonstop. Yeah, this is overkill.
it's sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does sound good. I want to see all the pictures after.
Yeah, I think prestigious is a very good one. Prestigious would be, I would say, established or very kind of old money area where there's a lot of wealthy or classy people. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, and
Hmm.
suburbs is another one that I know I don't know in Ireland, but I know in the US it is changing a little bit. But suburbs is that usually, especially if you have families, it's definitely an area where you want to be. It's more residential outside of the city. Generally in the US, people actually don't really want to be in the center. They're downtown so much because that's mostly where people work. People would rather
Yeah.
stay outside, but it's definitely changing with the younger demographics, especially because we can't really afford big houses in the suburbs. So it might just be a
Yeah.
necessity.
Yeah, it was like that in Ireland, but then it's completely changed now, and everybody wants to live in the city, but there's nowhere to live in the city. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
there's no
Mm.
space. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we'll look at number two now. I'll read this one. A calling location perched on the edge of a cliff. You'll be greeted every morning by the soothing sound of ocean and have endless opportunities to gaze at the beautiful horizon. This cozy and unique property offers the opportunity for a peaceful way of life. Only a 15-minute drive from the quaint local village, you can really live the best of both worlds. Hmm.
Oh, that sounds really nice, especially for like a holiday.
Yeah, definitely. So I think maybe this is an idyllic one, perhaps isolated in
Yeah,
real life, but it
isolated.
sounds
Hmm.
idyllic.
Yeah,
Okay, number
some words that
three.
could be good here. Could be
Mm,
like, but soothing was one. What was it say? So you'll be greeted every morning by the soothing sound. Soothing is like something that calms you, relaxes you. For example, if you get sunburned, if you're in the sun all day and you apply aloe vera or some kind of cream after, it is soothing. It kind of removes that burn sensation. It makes you feel good. That's soothing. In this case, a soothing sound of the ocean. To gaze, like to look, to admire, and quaint, I guess, could also be a good one. Quaint, I would say something like small and charming, I suppose.
yeah, like I would think of usually kind of
Yeah,
countryside things as quaint, like not expensive, but charming. Yeah, it's
yeah, charming.
positive, and yeah,
Yes,
okay.
that's the second property. And let's look at the third one. So, this is a property of great potential with peculiar grace and distinction, situated in a quiet, idyllic location and only a 10-minute drive from the thriving town of Tweethorn. You couldn't ask for a better location. This elegant 8-bedroom residence is magnificently furnished, and the many windows provide all the rooms with an abundance of light. It also includes a sweeping private garden, making it an ideal family home. I just
Mm.
cannot imagine a place called Tweethorn as being a thriving town, but hey.
No, no, it doesn't sound like it. Yeah.
Is this property is in Rio, cramped and with bizarre decoration?
I think that was number two, maybe.
Maybe the second one. It could be Daniela.
Unique. Mm.
We
Cozy
will
and unique.
we will show you the pictures after. So for now, just based on description alone, which one would you personally choose?
Mm.
Words here.
Okay.
Peculiar grace. That's a funny way to put it.
Peculiar. Yeah, like particular or unique. Yeah.
How would you like? I don't even know. Like it includes a sweeping private garden. Like how? What the sweeping here would even mean? Do you
I
think?
think it means big in an
Like it extends.
elegant way, yeah, kind of an old world sort of experience. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, we'll go for number four now. So, beautifully appointed. This period secluded beach house features three cozy bedrooms, complemented by a ground floor design that creates a natural breezeway through the home. With potential to add a pool, the thoughtful open plan is perfect for family relaxation. The idyllic location guarantees stunning sea views and has the beach literally on the doorstep. Mm,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah, the natural breezeway through the home gives me the idea almost there are no windows in place. It's just
Yeah,
like all just open and just coming in, like blowing sand everywhere.
maybe not very well insulated. I've always wanted to live by the sea. I've never lived near the sea, so it's always something I imagine would be wonderful.
Me too, and I've always been like so close, but just far enough not to be able to enjoy it. Really, because I come from a place in Brazil that is like an hour from the sea.
Oh,
Sacramento is 2 hours from the sea, and then well, I guess I spent a few summers in Palermo, so I guess that was the closest to actually being by the sea. But then Bologna, Milan, these are all places that are close enough, but not really there.
yeah, I mean Ireland certainly you're never very far from the sea, but it's cold and it is not really a beach culture because it's too cold.
Yeah.
So the towns always face away from the sea. It's never really on the sea like Palermo or somewhere like that.
Yeah, but it's also really, really charming. I think that the kind of beauty that you get, like in Northern Europe, with in many ways, it's what you also see a lot in California. A lot of the beaches. I mean, obviously, if you go to like San Diego, LA, you get more of the. That's what people imagine a lot of the times. But as soon as you're out of that area, you kind of have more of the cliffs and more of that
Okay.
sad beauty, not so much like the surfer vibe that people associate
Okay.
with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Is the climate in Sacramento as hot as LA or San Diego?
No, it's more mild. Uh,
Okay.
it never really gets that cold. So I think it's slightly warmer than Milan in the winter,
Okay.
but pretty comparable actually, minus the humidity.
Okay.
So Daniela would go for number four. So your idyllic home is the
Mm.
beach house. A number four. I don't know for me.
We'll
Trying
just
to think.
refresh.
Yeah, let's just look at them again one more time.
So prestigious suburbs, three bedrooms,
Oh yeah, definitely not a suburb. Not for me.
custom cottage on the edge of a cliff.
Yeah, it would be nice as a vacation home, but not to live in.
the peculiar grace near
Mm.
Sweetorn, and then the beach house.
Ah, you, you like the cube behind me. I actually made that, Daniela.
Ah,
It was just like a white wall, and I bought. Obviously, I rent this, so I cannot make any changes. So I bought washi tape, which is it's made
yeah,
from rice. It's like a rice paper, so it's really easy to remove, but it sticks really well. Thank you.
that's a great idea, yeah. Okay, so which one do you choose?
Oh gosh, I mean, I was hoping for like maybe like a little city apartment.
Imagine for a holiday house, let's say.
Holiday house. If it's a holiday house, I'd also go for number four, I suppose, just for the beach. But I feel
Yeah,
like there is a lot of work that needs to be done in this house, and not
yeah.
so much in the others.
Yeah, I think strangely I'm going to go for number three. Something about it is intriguing for me. The I don't
Ah,
know.
also Robbie. She also the third one is perfect for me. A lot of lights, a garden, and near the center. The fourth, living in front of the sea, is something I could die for, but I have to think about it. Very nice expression.
Yeah. So
Cool.
will we reveal to finish what how they look? So property number one. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite a kind of
Well,
American
a
style.
lot of houses in California look like that. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I don't like that. I'm just like, too
No,
big, too much. Like suburbia.
yeah,
Not a big
no.
fan.
No, but certainly not a bad house,
No,
really.
for a family, it would be
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
And I think that the two-door garage is always very American.
Yeah.
Oh, number two.
Ooh, that looks lovely.
It looks very small, no?
It is, but I guess
You
I
could
don't
live
know.
there.
No, I couldn't live. Hey, we're talking holiday homes here.
Yes.
I guess I'd want to see if there's a big window on that other side because it's like on the cliff. But I hope that you can see, can get light through it. Otherwise, if it's just like the wall, no. I guess that would be a big change I would make.
Okay.
It is cute though.
Number three, my property. Oh, it looks a bit run down, doesn't it? And
Slightly rundown.
I suppose that's the peculiar grace and distinction. Yeah. To be honest, this kind of thing is interesting for me. I don't really like minimalist or very modern houses. I like a bit of character, a bit of something unusual about a place.
Yeah, it actually
But
reminds
maybe
me
the
of the original Sims. I don't know if you ever played like the very first one,
yeah, I
where
did.
they had like remember like Cassandra, the little
The
girl.
goth, yeah, the
Yeah,
goth
that's
family.
like their house is just like that.
Yeah, very, very Victorian house. Yeah.
Yeah,
And here's your one. It doesn't look bad, does it?
yeah, no, not terrible. No, I think yeah, from the inside, I think it's better to get the view. Maybe no, it looks okay.
Yeah,
Don't love those
yeah, not so
rots,
bad.
but not so bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the beach seems sandy anyway, so yeah, not so bad.
So, are you guys happy
Great.
with your choices, Daniela? Do you like your beach house, and Robbie? Do you like that fourth house? And have you changed your mind?
Yeah, in the question here we have the good phrasal verb, what puts you off the others? So to be put off. It's the opposite of to be attracted, I think. Yeah, to
Yeah,
repulse.
yeah. And we also have the adjective off-putting, like repulsive.
Yeah, great. Mm.
So, Daniela, so
I don't,
you are happy with your choice.
yeah. I don't think any are repulsive or off-putting. No, they're all
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of a holiday, see, I could enjoy. I guess maybe not so much the first one again, because that doesn't like strike me as a holiday house. It's more of like yeah, a place to live with a family. It looks like
Mm.
very comfortable. It probably has a lot of good furniture and yeah, comfy. Uh,
Yeah,
the other ones, yeah, I could enjoy a holiday in all those, I suppose.
yeah, yeah, but it's definitely they're all. I think all of these houses are difficult to sell in their own way. We'll just quickly
Yeah,
look over some of the terms we learned earlier, or some of the ways that a real estate agent would speak. So we had lively area, idyllic, great potential, studio flat, period property, and then what they really mean, I suppose. And the same cozy, cramped and small, unique, bizarre, secluded, middle of nowhere, basic, and good transport connections. Do you have anything you want to add, Thiago, before we
no,
finish?
I think that's all.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So thank you, as always, for your participation, and please keep watching our webinars. We have them all day, every day, so tune in.
Absolutely, thank you guys. Actually, I just thought of one thing. If you guys liked this focus and just the idea of like houses, that there's actually a show on Netflix that I watched recently, which is called Instant Hotel. And it's an Australian sort of reality TV competition. And it's basically about like Airbnbs, and you have these people who like they all have an Airbnb or across the country, and they have to like rate it, and they kind of each week they go to a different one. So they do use a lot of the vocabulary we saw. They talk a lot about houses and properties, and there's a lot of drama as well. So I really did enjoy it.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. See ya.